We are going to be making a rainbow wind catcher. So it's St. Patrick's Day. I was trying to think, like, do we make leprechauns? Do we make leprechaun traps? Do we do, other fun things? And then I thought, a rainbow is really fun. It's really accessible. I'm kind of really into rainbows this year. Also, it started to rain today and I was really bummed about it. I was hoping for a nice day. And then I'm really, really hopeful that after the rain today, maybe this afternoon we'll get a rainbow pop out. So this could actually work out perfectly. All right, what you're gonna need is a paper plate. Paper plate, please. And that will come whole, okay? You're gonna need some streamers. I have a whole bunch of rainbow colored streamers here. Markers, paints, we'll talk about a few other options. Cotton balls are optional as well. And then some glue. You'll also wanna have either a string or I picked a sparkly pipe cleaner as a hanging element. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do first is chop your plate in half. You can see I've started my rainbow on this side. You're gonna take your full plate and cut it in half. So you know what that means. If you're working with a child on this, you should make one too. So you have your child make one, you make one, and hang them together. I really think it's fun when you're engaging in an artistic activity, more so than just helping. It's really fun if you can do the activity with your child or yourself, whatever. Do it with a buddy if you can. So 2, ready to go. The next step in our rainbow wind catcher would be drawing out your rainbow. So I have a completed rainbow here. A few tips and tricks that I have. You can see, I'm gonna walk around and zoom in here, guys. You can see here on the plate, and I'm kind of recording on 2 different devices, so forgive me. You can see here on the plate, there's got some nice ridges. So this is a great starting place, right? Our ridges here. Starting place for where your colors should go. Now I'm working on a traditional rainbow, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, which I just have one purple, and then violet, technically, if we're working with Roy G. Biv. But I just did blue and then purple, okay? I started out with the red, and before I colored everything in, I just took a moment to plan out where my colors were gonna go. So for example, I used that first ridge, okay, to do my red, and I'm gonna map it out. Also, so you don't forget what color order you're going in, I'm gonna do the second little ridge here as orange, okay, just to give myself a little bit of a map. I'm gonna do the top of the ridge here as yellow. This is great too for color association for littles. So if you're working with a little one on this, okay, you can ask them what the color is, okay? You could even do more math-based and be measuring how far to the center if you want it completely equal, and then how far apart, right? So maybe you wanted to do like 1 inch a piece, depending on how many colors you're using. And you can be creative with this too. You don't have to do the traditional rainbow like I'm doing. You could do maybe more of a non-traditional rainbow with some different colors. My purple's gonna be a big purple, but that's okay. You could also start really skinny on the outside and then get fatter as you go in. You could start really fat on the outside, like do really fat and red, and then skinnier as you go towards the center. Really, the choice is yours, okay? So that's our second step, right? Our first step, chopping the plate in half. Our second step, planning out where our colors are going, okay? So again, I did Roy, red, orange, yellow, G for green, and then BP, blue and purple, or Biv, okay? Excellent. So once you finish that, we're gonna hop ahead and we're gonna look at my finished one. Time out. Let's go back. I use marker. Couple tips here. You can use paint. You could use crayon, colored pencil, any of your coloring materials. You could use watercolor too. If you're using watercolor or any of our colors, there's the shiny side of the plate and then there's the dull side, the more of the papery side. Make sure you're using the paper side. Another thing you could do is you could take your streamers so the colors match perfectly. You could chop this up into little squares and do kind of like a Mod Podgey collage. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. Collection across. So last year around this time we did mosaic tiles, right? And we did rainbows with that as well, or rainbow colors, I should say. But you could cut out little squares and you could glue them on, or use Mod Podge, right, to create that rainbow shape. Lots of choices. So if markers aren't your thing, maybe your kids are too small for markers, maybe they're too messy, whatever. Like, you can try crayons, you can try paints. Paints always freak me out when I'm at home. I much rather do painting here. But you have a lot of choices when it comes to how you're gonna make your rainbow. Okay, fast forward, back to our rainbow. You have a couple choices here as well. What we're gonna be doing next is attaching our streamers to the back. Okay, so they hang low. You can decide how long and how short you want your streamers. You can decide what order you want to put your streamers in. You can decide how many streamers you use, like how full it is. You can also add, which I'm going to do next, your clouds. So I did write that you could have some cotton balls. So I have 4 here. I'm going to pull them apart to make them a little wispier, more cloud-like. Okay. This is a great textile activity for littles, to pull apart and feel that textile. Okay. The other thing I love about this project is you probably have all these materials at home. So if you're looking for something to do, maybe you're planning a family walk and then it's raining, so you're like, ooh, I need something to do. I got your back. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna put a little glue on the front. I'm using Elmer's today. You could always use a glue stick, probably for the back, though I would suggest hot glue for the front if you don't have Elmer's glue. And remember, when we're gluing, it's gonna be wet for a little bit, so you definitely wanna give your project some time to dry. So if you can see me here, I'm just adding my puffy little clouds to the bottom of my rainbow. Beef this side up a little bit, and this one. So again, it's still wet, so you want to be careful, but you can see, got my cute little clouds there. Oh, I love rainbows, they're so fun. Okay, I'm tipping it over, I'm flipping it to the back side. I'm going to start on the outside, do reds, oranges, yellows, greens, blue, purple in the middle. So I might actually start with my purple in the middle. And I was going to do really long strips, but now I'm feeling a little gun shy about that, so I think I'm going to just take my one strip and cut it in half. I'm going to do 2 strips of each color, okay? Now, one way you can do it is just glue it flat. You could also kind of pinch in the ends and gather it a little bit, which is what I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my glue the back. Get some glue back there, and then I just take the tip and sort of smush it around a little bit to get a nice even coat of glue. Then I'm going to glue on my purples first. I'm going to go inside out for this task. Okay, a little stick. Okay, so then my next would be blue. I'm going to grab my blue streamer. I'm going to cut this in half. Now you can make them all even to start. I like to just do a little trim at the end, or you can leave them at different lengths, whatever makes your heart happy. Again, I'm going to put my blues on either side of the purple to kind of match the rainbow that's above it. Okay. And I'm pinching them in just a little bit. With the streamers, so they're so thin that it doesn't take a ton of glue. Okay, next up is green. If you've been following me, if you've been watching me for almost a year now, we've been doing live arts, and you have a suggestion or a comment, something that would make watching more pleasant, if you have a project you've always wanted to learn how to do, you just don't have the access to it, or are curious to see a step-by-step, let me know. I always love ideas. Again, we've been doing this every other week, just to give my brain a little bit of a break, come up with new things for you guys to do. But yeah, if there's anything you have suggestion-wise, for example, someone suggested that we get a microphone. If you're watching me live today, my microphone is not hooked up. But if you watch the replay with the video that I will post later, and up on our YouTube channel, you will get to hear the version with the microphone attached. There is a huge sound difference. So thank you. I forget the name of whomever suggested that we get the microphone, but it's made a world of a difference in my recording for this and for toddler art. So I really appreciate that suggestion. So we do listen. So if you guys have suggestions, if you have questions, just let me know. Okay, we're almost done. I've got to grab my red. Here we go. Okay, so we take our red streamer, that goes on the very end. And again, I'm really hoping that this evening maybe a rainbow pops out. We'll see, I don't know. I didn't look at the forecast today, I'll be honest. Surprised when I woke up this morning. Okay, I'm gonna just gently, oh, look at how fun that is. Look at how fun. Okay. Now you could always do this two-sided too. You could do this, you could color this side and you could put it on the back to make it more 3D. Okay, so just think about that as an option. Right now mine is 2D, but I could do the colors the same on the back and make it more 3D. Okay, so like think about how fun this would be to watch like blow in the wind. Super fun. Our last part is our hanging element. Okay, you can do this in a couple ways. I lost it. Okay, you can do this in a couple ways. You can punch some holes. You can punch some holes in the top. You could tape, you could glue, though the Elmer's glue, because this is kind of heavy and it's holding the weight, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that. I would suggest more of a hot glue. But again, you're gonna wanna attach in some shape or form the pipe cleaner string, whatever you're using, to the top, okay? So I'm gonna make sure, I think I'm gonna find my hole punch here after we're done and punch mine in so I can tie them, because I can envision Hugh running around. I'm gonna try to be gentle here with the rainbow wind catcher. So, there you have it. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks. That first week of April, we'll be back with live art. If you have any suggestions, leave me a comment, send me a message. You can always email me at PlymouthArtsClasses@gmail.com. That's PlymouthArtsClasses@gmail.com. Check out our YouTube channel, check out our Facebook page, Instagram, and if you're looking for something really fun to do, our gallery is open with our newest art show, Bouncing Back, which is fully local students. So we have virtual students, we have Plymouth students, we have Howard's Grove, Elkhart Lakeland Beulah, some PAC students, so come check it out. It's a great show to bring your family to. Lots of really, really cool art, and all done by our local youth. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye.